What is up, guys? Jim in here, and we are here today, actually, to do some plot reviews. I thought I would go through. A lot of people ask me, Jane Man, what do I build? How should I build? Do I build good enough? My plot didn't get accepted. What can I do to improve it? Because I just don't know. And really, that's a really hard question because there's so many things that go into a plot that it can be actually quite difficult to say you need to prove exactly this, and then generalize that for like everybody. And so actually, let me go to these signs real quick. These are really good guidelines, which are under the guest spawn. And this is AliACraft.net, by the way, if you guys don't know. It's a new server that just opened that I'm head admin on for Ali A, who's a lovely YouTuber on well, YouTube, of course. So tips. We kind of go here on the server for DASP, D-A-S-P, and that was something that was, as far as I know, totally introduced and invented by Jamsy Boy, who is a pretty popular YouTuber. I think he's at like 100,000 subscribers or something. And the reason we decided to adapt it is because it's just so encompassing, of everything you could possibly want in a plot, and it generalizes it, fairly well. It doesn't get everything, but it gets the majority of what we want to see in a plot. So I'm not gonna read these to you. You can pause the video if you want to, and you can read all of these one by one, but I will kind of explain them as we go through and look at some plots here. So I've chosen today, and I've moved around a bit, a couple of decent plots, none quite perfect, but all ones that have some good things about them and some bad things about them. And I'm going to explain those good things, and I'm going to also explain those bad things. So let's start with this plot. So this one, you walk in, and immediately I'll use the four things we're going to talk about: detail, atmosphere, style, and purpose. So the first thing that's most noticeable, right, is that this has pretty solid atmosphere. When I walk into this plot, I can't see a ton of what's going on around me. Like, I can't see, look at all these awful, terrible plots, right? Not necessarily awful, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to see them obstructing my view and taking away from the plot itself. So you walk in here, and you don't really see that. You can't see a ton of the other plots. So that's one thing that already is established some atmosphere. Another thing, I like these trees, where they're positioned. Now, these aren't perfect. They're a little bubbly, but that's really unnoticeable from the top. And if I'm walking, as I destroy this person's crops, as I'm walking to the plot itself and I'm looking up at these trees, they don't look that bad, and they add a lot of atmosphere to the plot, because when I'm looking at this house, right, these trees are obstructing the other plots, so I can't see that. I can just focus solely inward on the house. Now these, I guess those are like bees or birds or something. I don't know how well I'd say those totally worked out. They're a little distracting, and like this duck, like, it's not totally realistic, but it's cute, it's cutesy. Another thing they did very well is varying the terrain. You have several levels of terrain here. I'm not walking on just one flat plot, and that adds a lot to atmosphere as well. In real life, you're not walking on extremely solid, flat ground all the time, and if you are, then, well, I'm sorry, that's just boring, Like, I like levels and things in your plot. That adds depth. Now, coming over to the house, you see here, they do a pretty good job on the D and DAS, which is detail. Like, they have one under here on the first floor. It looks very, very supported. I couldn't imagine this falling over whatsoever. It's even got, especially like these little nice like subroofs that I do sometimes. Like, I thought these looked nice. They had a little bit of shade. They had some character to this house. The style is also, I wouldn't say it's totally defined, but it's somewhat there. You see, you have a chimney here, and the kind of chimney that this is, it's so kind of long and like whiny. It's almost steampunk, but then I look at the rest of the build and I see the rest of the build as steampunk. So that's some inconsistency issue right there. But for the most part, I'd say the style is decent. Purpose now. That's one of the things. I get over to this house, right? I see it looks really nice, but when I go inside, this is where they would be dinged. There's no interior, and you can't do that. It automatically sucks all the life out of this plot. Like, I'm extremely disappointed in this person did that interior, because, what could have been, like, look at that horse, it's so nice. What could have been an almost perfect plot is so hindered by the fact that, like, you can't actually go in and explore this house and find out what this person who lives here does. Okay, yes, they farm, they're self-sufficient, right? They obviously grow their own food and live off themselves, but what do they do? Why are they here? I can't tell that at all because the interior is not done. And so that's definitely something, if you're doing a house, you need to do the interior. Absolutely need to do the interior. So, let's see. Let's move on to the next plot here. I thought this was a great example of a really nice detailed build, right? You come in here, the interior is not really that great. But what would ding them the most on this is the fact that the terrain is so plain. They have tiny little bits of block variation here and there, but it's just totally flat, you know? And there's absolutely no atmosphere. I see this tower, right? But I look around and I can see so much other stuff that I get distracted and I just can't concentrate on what I want to focus on, which is this plot, as I turn off the chat, because let's just try and focus, okay? I can't do it, no matter how hard I try. I just can't. Look at that. There's that over there. There's this. There's a guy flying around. I just can't focus. So, really good detail. Nice flag. Everything about it looks fine. The problem is it just needs that extra little bit of terrain. It needs trees. It needs some purpose. It needs atmosphere. This is one of the things I see a lot are modern builds, and I don't really recommend doing a modern build. It just doesn't work out too well in the end for you. I mean, it doesn't lend itself to detail, doesn't lend itself to depth. You see, in a modern house, you know, oftentimes the walls are very flat. So he's being accurate by doing walls like this. But the problem is in Minecraft, like, we don't want to see flat things. Flat things don't look good. We want to see things that pop. This tower, that pops. That has so much detail. And the little, the roof, the subroof that comes out, that pops. This porch pops. But when I come here to this, and I get up on the car, right, like a maniac, this does not pop whatsoever. It totally looks completely flat. Does not look good whatsoever. Get in the car, nice little addition. Come up here, you go to the interior. It's pretty flat on the inside. There are some decent interior things. You can tell, okay, this is a bathroom, this is a storage room, so somebody lives here, right? They do their cooking there. You come up here, like, why is the window like at my chest? I have to like crawl. Ugh, what's out there? I can't tell. So there are some issues with this house. There's no bed either. I hate that when people don't put in bed. You have to put in a bed. Where does this person sleep? Honestly. Do they sleep at their desk? Do they sleep on this couch? Do they sleep in the toilet? Like, come on, guys. A bed. Very important. Very important. Let's go here. I don't know how I'm doing on time. I don't have a clock with me. But I will try. That's a tutorial. I will show, I think, one more. Should be fine for right now. This one was pretty good. Let's do this one. That's AliACraft plot, by the way. That's why it's here and not somewhere else. Alright. So I walk into this plot, right? Immediately I'm pretty damn immersed. Like, this is pretty good. I mean, you come in here, right? I can't really see a ton of the other plots. And two, I come in, like, so let's say from this corner, because this is close to the spawn, right? I come in here, my view is already obstructed by these trees. Like, I'm wanting to see what is past these trees. That's creating what I want to say, suspense. You know, it's making the person who's in this plot wonder, what's beyond there? And this tree right here, you can see it's right next to this house. That's also obstructing the house. So you can see that little bit of the house, but you can't see the whole thing. And so that leaves you wondering, who lives there? What's the rest of the house look like? Like, I want to know more, and so that keeps me coming to this plot. It keeps me immersed. The same thing with the rest of these trees. They did such a good job, and although these trees are a little bit bubbly, overall, they do a great job of really bringing in that immersive feeling. The same thing with the terrain. It's very, very, very leveled. I don't think he uses texture pack because these are kind of ornate kind of textures for stone, but, you know, still. This little riverbed here thing that goes in here, like, this is real. I could feel like I could see this in real life. Like, this person is built, clearly they can fish if they need to get their food if they live here. They come down in here, you've got this lovely, lovely little cave that goes onto, right? It just feels real. Now, warranted, this is a little bit messy. I would clean this up. just because this looks like block spam. I don't know if it looks that way in their texture pack, but it does look this way in this one. But other than that, like, just from face value, it looks very, very nice. You come in here, and now, did they do interior is the question. I don't know where to get in. Oh, here we are. So, pretty much no interior. Again, something that's very disappointing to see have some bare shelves, but where do they sleep? What do they do? I don't know, because I can't see the interior. So one of the things extremely important, do interior. Do interior. Another thing, the lily pads don't really make sense. You can see this is a waterfall here, so let's pretend this is flowing, right? If there's a waterfall, and this water's flowing, those lily pads could not survive if they were sitting on top of that flowing water. It just wouldn't work, right? They're fighting the current constantly. They couldn't stay there. They wouldn't be there. There's no reason those should be there. So it is very hard to add detail to water like this. But you can see he did a little bit of it by adding things underneath these kind of things. But lily pads, you don't spam them. Be very careful with them. And yeah, well, that's actually a really nice plot as well. Pretty nice. It could be better. Anyway, I'm gonna end this here just because I don't want to drag on too long. I will put the channel, or not the channel, rather the IP in the description. It is mc.aliacraft.net. I advise you guys to come on. This is actually only one of the servers out of many. You can come on, hop on creative, build for yourself, hopefully be promoted. This is actually the guest world, by the way, so I'm actually quite impressed with some of the plots that we see here who have really used their space well. I will be hopefully doing one of the apprentice world very soon, which is the next rank after guest / novice. So hopefully we'll be seeing even better plots there. Again, the server has just started up, so a lot of those plots aren't quite finished yet. But when they are, I will definitely be showing you guys some of those. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Again, do check out the server. I know you'll enjoy it. And I thank you very, very much for watching as well. I know that I've gotten a lot of new subscribers recently. And I just want to tell you guys that I do really actually, I really genuinely appreciate you guys coming to subscribe to my channel. Because I am starting on YouTuber, and I hope to see you guys for a very, very long time. So with that said, take care, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.